Hello friends, my name is Shivam from DevOps Schools and I will help you to enable your learning process in various technologies of DevOps, artificial intelligence, machine learning, big data and many more. This is our initiative to help you by sharing multiple tutorials and videos. And if you want any specific tutorials or any particular topic, then please do comment in the below comment section and I will help you with it. Also, please subscribe to our premium services on YouTube, which will give you access to more content and videos to enhance your knowledge about all these topics. Also, if you want me to help you with regards to the online trainings and classroom sessions by our qualified trainers, then please do write me at contact@devopsschool.com. Thank you.
For this, I'm for delivery dine-in curbside. Can you give me the yes, no decision table values? Only these three. The third one is pickup is no. So in chart, can you use your chart or maybe, yeah, correct. Yes, fine. So meanwhile, I'm filling. Let others also identify. Don't copy paste. Pickup yes, dining yes, and delivery yes. Pickup no. Uh, this is no. Yes. So okay. Now the third one is now pickup. Delivery is not there. Pickup and dining and curbside. So now give me the results for this. No, yes, yes, yes. Okay. No, yes, yes, yes. Okay. And the other one is delivery, pickup. Okay. Um, Pickup and dining, comma, curbside. So this is the values for all yes, correct. And for example, all no. So the last one is all no. I did not select any delivery, pickup, dining, and curbside. I did not. I unselected. I unselect all the values from here. So what should happen? No answers. I unselected all the four options, order types. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, Mohan, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I'm expecting my question is clear. So here all no, I did not select any option at the admin portal. So what should be the shown at customer side? So what should be shown here? Decision table. Is it clear or is it
It should display no.
So what should happen if I did not select any option? Nothing should display and other. So Kumar says nothing should display at the customer application. Any other? So,
But this table will accept any yes or no value, right?
yes, yeah, table yes or no, but we say that we should throw an error after. In this case, and actually the requirement, if the requirement did not say anything, because the portal is allowing any of the four, like user can come to hotel and can eat, can order pickup, and any restaurant supports only four. Without having, there is no point to having in a application, right? So there is no point to create a web application for that side, because you're not allowing to deliver, you're not going to pick up. You can say store is closed. But if you are allowing to place an order, so that means at the admin side, it should not allow to save any settings, these settings, any without any of this. One is mandatory. These things we should be get from the requirement during requirement if it is not specified in the requirement document. So these are the missing things will be there in the requirement phase. I know the requirement will be given to us, and some of the requirements are missing, might not be available. So that is the reason we have to ask. The moment when I ask, so what is the decision table? So you might have an ask, what should happen? So what is the cause? If you take it in end user point of view, I went to Paradise Biryani to order. If it is not allowing to, I'm allowing to select, I'm able to select everything, but it is not allowing to, there is nothing to show whether it's a pickup order, order type. So there is no point to search. It's a waste of my time, right? I feel like now this website is useless, right? So end user point of view, if you think about it, at least one option should be shown here. Otherwise there is no point of selecting menu, going to that restaurant. So these are the things might not specified in the requirement phase. So we should be able to think at the end user point of time and point of view, and we have to find out there should be at least one option should be available. Without doing this we cannot place the order, because this is any one is mandatory. If you say see here, it's a radio button, right? So also here, if it is a checkbox, again it's a bug. Here it should be a radar button. At least one option should be selected, any of this, right? So that is how you have to find out what should happen if uh, if I'm selecting none of the above. Okay, so it should throw an error message saying that you should be select at least one order type. Okay, so that is the error message. We should not allow admin to save settings without any of this. Okay, so any questions on this decision table before I move to the my scenario which I have implemented? Am I clear? Uh, Still some doubts or confusion?
Hey viewers, are you looking for formal training on SRE practices? Take our SRE program. This course will teach you how to successfully implement site reliability engineering in the modern day 24/7 services. Kickstart your SRE training today. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Any doubts? Yes, no. So actually, I think it's a better to share our video after lunch. It looks like it's a graveyard session. Everybody's okay. Okay, then I'll give a small example instead of four. Uh, just you give me the answers.
So, Mohan, when this decisions table is created, like as part of my automation right engineer, so I won't be creating this decision table at the time of like requirement specifications or test case design. This table will be created.
Yes, that is what I'm going to explain. How this will be helpful, even if you plan little bit. I will show you one of my templates. This is I'm using the framework, Cucumber framework. I don't know how many of you know. Are you using the Cucumber? Any of you are aware of it? Maybe it's a data table. Also. So for the screen testing, that is you can see pickup checkbox, delivery checkbox, and curbside dining checkboxes. We have a checkboxes, right? So I mean toggle on and off. And earlier this was a checkbox. The UA has upgraded to latest UA when it is a on off toggle. But earlier it was a checkbox. Okay, so that is the reason it has written. So here, so this is a Gherkin language. Anyhow, this is I'm going to give brief about in the coming session. Here, my test case like I'm on ACP login. ACP is the admin control panel. So I logged in with the user ID and password, and I have navigated to the particular screen. Here, the pickup checkbox, yes, yes, no, whatever yes, no is there, right? So that means in the admin, I have selected all yes. Okay, so that means all four are yes for first scenario. Okay, for first iteration, all these four are yes. So I don't know how to. Okay, so here all four are yes. That means this test case in first iteration, what it will do is it will check in the admin portal my automation scripts. It will enable this pickup and delivery curbside and dining based on this yes no. Okay, and here, so maybe I'll maximize little more. Hope everybody is able to see this, right? Okay, so here I had checked all the checkboxes. Yes no, yes no, I'm getting it from the example. If you are using Excel, you can put it in the Excel. Okay, so and so the other things I'm checking, and I click on submit button. I see, I know after checking those check boxes, again I'm validating. Then means it's a assertion whether the checkbox is selected or not. After that, I'm opening new window. I open a new browser window because there are two logins, right? And I switch to new browser. I have a switch to new browser, and the given I'm on the newly created storefront uh, login page. I'm on the storefront. I mean, I'm the user application with the URL, and I enter username and password, and I click on the login button. This is the one. So I have selected. I add one item to my cart, and added items. I see I have added items are present in my cart or not, and I click on checkout. So I'm trying to place an order. I click on checkout. So I see order type alert. So this is nothing but this order type is alert is nothing but this one. So this is the one order type alert will be displayed. So, mm, so just a moment. Where we are. Okay. So if the order type alert, if I select S there, so pickup. If you pick up yes, I see pickup order type check. So here it is not a checkbox, radio button. So radio button, I see pickup order type radio button is visible. If here yes, that means if you checked it as a yes in the uh, admin, it should be displayed there also. So delivery also, delivery type also. If I checked yes here, here also it should be displayed. Like that, I have used same test steps for all these 11 combinations. So that is how I did. I used decision table in my uh, automation. So also the same way, if you want to check, uh, so we have another example, right? The same way, if you want to check these pages are available, if the clerk, that means he should be able to see what are the pages he can see. You can create some table within your role. Based on that, you can say this can be visible. So that is how you can implement decision table in your automation as well. So am I clear, or still is there any doubt? Hello, any doubt? So all good. So this is also a manual. Also in a manual, also we will derive the test cases from this, and also we can write our automation scripts also using this. And this will be the advantage of this is with the less one test case. I have written one test case which can be used for multiple 11 data sets. Okay, some of the examples like login. So I'll give one more example. Uh, so here, your username, password. Okay. For example, it's a valid username.
Hey viewers, trying to get into DevSecOps? Enroll for our DevSecOps certified professional programs and earn the certification that shows you are fit for these technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
Valid username. If it is a so so actually I forgot. Username is username, password. So let me put like this: username, password. Okay. Okay. Here, valid username. Okay. If it is a valid username and valid password, I should be able to log in. Yes, right. Mm, yeah, I should be able to log in. I don't know what happened. Should apply this. Okay. So invalid username and valid password. No, right? Invalid username, invalid password. No, no username and valid password. The same test case you can use. So with this decision table, you can apply like the way you apply for login. So you can test multiple data sets with a one scenario. So here, no, it should not allow you to access. Now, based on this condition, you can put yes means it should navigate to uh, home page. No means it should throw error message. Also, you can say error message. So this kind of example also I will show in future. I mean, when I explain little bit about that thing. So what kind of error message? So the description here. So the error message you can show it here. This is how for login also you can. This is a very basic scenario. So this is how you can implement decision table for login test case also. So I think these examples are good enough. I'm moving to next slide. Okay, state transition diagram. Okay. So the requirement here is after 3 invalid login attempts, account should be blocked. Okay. So so to derive this one, so you put it in a diagram like what should happen if I logged in at first time with invalid user. So what should happen 2 times, 3 times. So I will show you a simple diagram. So I tried with the incorrect pin. If it is an incorrect pin, it throw an error message like first try. It will say incorrect pin. If it is a correct, then it will correct pin and it will be logged into the home page. In second try, if you input incorrect pin, so it will throw error message. For example, first time you have used incorrect pin and second time you have used valid pin, then you can have the access to the application, right? I'm repeating again, second scenario. Second time I have used valid pin. So that means first time I have used invalid and second time I have used invalid pin. So I can access. For example, in other way, if I used incorrect pin, so it will move to third try. So third try, so there is no options is available. It will show that your account is blocked. You may try after 24 hours, 48 hours. Your account is blocked for 24 hours, a couple of minutes. In our mobile, it will be 10, 20 seconds or 1 minute. So if you are trying number of times, that time will be increasing. So after using this diagram, you can identify this how application should respond. But when you use your mobile device, I used a password, incorrect password. First time after 5 attempts, for example, it will say wait for 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds also, if I used the wrong pin, then it will say wait for 2 minutes. So the time will be increased, or sometimes, based on our settings, the permanently your mobile will be locked, or it will be sent in a message to your, security alert saying that you have tried more number of users. There will be a separate link will be given to access that device. If you lost the device, if somebody is trying to access your mobile with the wrong pin, it will be data will be erased like that. That kind of settings will be set. So these kind of things using state transition diagram. So this will help to derive test cases in which condition it will be blocked. So you have to try all the ways. So at the second stage, you have to try with a valid and invalid. So that is how you can, if you try only valid, then if you didn't try invalid, again, it will be a problem. So you have to try all these combinations. Then you make sure that your functionality is working as per the requirement. So that is about, a test case design techniques. Any questions?
Hey viewers, our Master in DevOps engineering program can help you to hone the skills necessary to succeed in high-level DevOps positions. So, what are you waiting for? Enroll now and earn certification that show you are keeping pace with today's technical roles and requirements. Contact info is mentioned in the video sidebars and in the description box. Book your seats for the upcoming batches now.
clear about this? Any doubts? State transition diagram? No doubt. No means didn't get. Okay. Okay. Exploratory testing. So what is exploratory testing? So anybody have a idea on it? Exploratory. So if anybody has in generic definition also, okay, fine for me. So if you know a little bit about exploratory testing, no. Okay. Usually, what?
I
Yeah.
Hi Mohan. Actually, exploratory testing is nothing but you take one feature and you like beyond the requirements. You like a user, you try to explore that feature, and based on that, we will log defects.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So based on that, correct. Without having test cases, you will do the exploratory testing. Yes, you're absolutely right. In normal testing, what we'll do, we'll design test cases and we'll follow the test cases based on the steps. Okay, in a traditional testing, we will not think we will follow the blindly follow the test cases. We will not think about application. I mean, application behavior. Like you don't do thinking activity because in some of the organization what they will do is they will write the test cases and they will give it to junior and he will be executing the test cases based on the test steps and expected results. He will make pass or fail, so he don't need much experience on it. But when it comes to exploratory testing, you need so experience because it's required a previous experience, and you should have experience on the domain side, and also you should have on the application knowledge like specific applications. Some of the base some of the I mean e-commerce applications, if any e-commerce application everybody knows, if it is a Flipkart or that kind of application, so everybody will be having some knowledge and they will do it. And some specific applications we don't know, banking domain applications, telecom domain, and those things are quite complex. It is not understandable. Those to test those applications using exploratory, you should have some experience. So, yeah, go with the flow of application. Try explore every feature. Yes, ad hoc and this one is not same. I will explain that also. Okay. It is not randomly tested because it will be tested like it will be tested to understand the application, and most of the time whenever new tester is entered into the application, this will be used like this exploratory testing is used. I mean, they will be given to the application and they will be exploring and testing the application. But okay, so that is one idea. We will see that in later. So we'll see the definitions which are available here. It is a type of software testing where test cases are not created in advance, but testers check the system on the fly. So you'll go to the particular feature or module and you will test on it. They may not, they may note down, they may note down ideas about what test before test execution. Will not write any documentation. We will do execution on the fly. So the focus of exploratory testing is more on testing a thinking activity. So this keep it in mind, thinking activity, because if you automate some test cases, so it will not think. Because so the way if you automate something, if something is changed also, then you will understand, okay, this is the change, but automation script will fail if there is a change. For example, the button name has changed, or the button expert got changed, or the button place has changed. But it will not think. Automation script, the way you scripted it will work. But in exploratory testing, you know that, okay, this is accepted because uh, this is what exactly it is intended to do. You will think about it, but when it comes to automation, it will not think. Whatever you have given intelligence to your automation scripting during scripting, with that intelligence it will work. It don't have a thinking to it. So I will tell you one more example. I'll give one robot example. So most of the people might have seen Robo movie. So Robo actually initially it will work based on the guidelines whatever a professor has given. So when so that time it used to do mistakes because the way the words are not clear and he is not specific. So that time it used to do mistakes. Okay, so that means how you are giving. So the requirement should be very specific. Then only that robot works. Also, the intelligence is given by professor. Based on that, the robot works exactly. But when it comes to intelligence is not there, so that will not act based on the condition. Correct. So after some time, it has thinking capability and it start things it won't. But no one teaches that a robot should do that. It should not do. It thinks how it wants to do. But also, it is very important to our automation scripts to give intelligence. Not it's a very tough to give thinking, but at least we have to give good intelligence to our automation script to catch good number of bugs. So
Thanks for watching. Want to study further? Join our training programs today.